Why, hello out there, and welcome to Small Beards and Big Opinions.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce,
And I'm Shaner.
and welcome back to episode. Wow, okay, I'm really jumping ahead. Welcome back to History and Hypotheticals. This is episode 2
Is it? Yeah, of season 2.
of season 2. Yeah. If you haven't already, go check out episode 1, because it's the first one.
Yeah, we're giving you a chance to catch up here. You're only one episode behind.
Yeah, only one.
Get
Now's the
on
time to
it.
catch up. How's your week going, Shaner?
It's going pretty well. I am a little tired and I'm not ready for the new week, but you know what? What are you going to do about it?
I'm kind of in the same spot. I'm on like day 7 of working, and I've got another 6 days ahead of me, so 2
That
weeks.
seems like something you should quit your job and get a new job at Sheets.
You're right. I should come back to Pennsylvania and work at Sheets.
Oh, yeah, they probably don't have Sheets out there, do they?
No, they don't. The next closest thing is they're called Casey's, but they don't
That sounds
have
terrible.
like the ordering. Like you can't order food per se. They just have a bunch of pre-made stuff.
That's what you get for leaving PA.
Yeah, I know. The big thing with them is like their pre-made, not pre-made, but their pizzas, because you can get like a
Mm.
pie for relatively cheap. And Kansas isn't exactly known for their pizza, and so like sadly that's sometimes the best pizza spot you can go to in town.
I always forget some of these gas station chains are like regional.
Yeah.
There was one other regional thing where I was trying to describe something to someone, and they were like, "Dude, I've never heard of what you're talking about at all." I'm like, "What do you mean? They're everywhere." And they're like, "Yeah, not here."
Yeah.
It was something weird like Sheets or
Wawa.
yeah, something like that. Where I could not believe that it was a regional thing, and it was something that like I knew Sheets was regional, so it had to be something else. It was like another fast food place or something.
Okay, well, regardless, we're not here to talk about gas stations, Shaner. We're here to talk about history stuff and hypothetical stuff. That was a really bad transition.
Wow, that was
That
smooth.
was terrible. Anyways, let's move on to our first segment.
Redacted.
If you don't know, me and Shaner have uncovered 100% very accurate conspiracy theories that we are going to share with you to break the news and wake those sheeple up.
We are risking our lives for this, people.
Yeah, we could be in jail tomorrow because of this.
Or dead.
Or dead. Shaner, since I went first last time, I'll give you the honor of going first
Oh,
this
wow,
time.
thanks. All right, first to risk my life here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eddie, you've heard the conspiracy before that cats are secretly trying to take over the world, haven't you?
Yes, I have heard of this one.
Well, I think there's a much more sinister plot when it comes to us owning cats, and I think I've uncovered it.
Okay.
What if I told you that humans owning cats and other animals like that, but mainly cats, is a way to get us ready to be taken over by an unknown hostile force?
No.
Think about it. What do you do for cats?
What do I
You
do
take
for
care,
cats?
yeah, you have to serve them, feed them whenever they want. You change their litter boxes. What do they do for you?
Nothing.
Nothing. They might give you some attention, but even then, you have to learn to be okay with not getting rewards for your actions.
That's true.
So, what if there's some hostile thing out there, an alien, an Atlantean army? I don't know. But they sent cats to humans because we've all seen cats do weird things that we can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
What if cats are aliens, but they're not trying to take over? They're getting us ready to be subservient to something bigger,
Mm.
to serve them food whenever they want, to clean their bathrooms, to do
Mm.
all this without reward or payment. But we'll be used to it. We'll be acclimated because we've been taking care of cats since forever.
Okay.
Cats will get violent. These people might get violent. They're trying to get us used to it. I have a cat. I'm a part of the problem.
Maybe you need to grow your cat.
Yeah, I'll go do that right now.
You're gonna go do it right now. Okay, so I'm gonna play the devil's advocate a little bit. What about dogs? Because technically we do all those things for dogs.
Yeah, but dogs are much more subservient and normal. Like when have you ever seen a dog do something that's like so weird that you can't explain it? Besides maybe barking a little weird. You don't often see dogs staring off in the middle of nowhere like cats do, or jumping at nothing. My cat will jump and try to catch things that aren't there all the time. He's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs are subservient. You can tell a dog, you know, come here. You can tell a dog sit, paw, all this stuff. You ever try to teach a cat tricks? That cat will learn tricks if it wants to learn tricks. Dogs, on the other hand, you can train. They are not like they are subservient animals 90% of the time.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm
All right.
saying?
I see I pick it up what you're putting down. All right. I think moving forward, I will never own a cat. What should we do? Like, knowing this knowledge.
If you own a cat, kill it. No,
Kill
I'm
it.
kidding.
Okay.
Cut
Sounds
that
good.
out. That's we're gonna get in trouble. If you own a cat, just be careful. Just watch out. Look for the warning signs. Maybe make it change its own litter box every once in a while.
Hmm.
Let it take personal responsibility for itself. Don't be a servant. Get them a feeding schedule. I don't know. Something to break the monotony. Make it pay you rent. You know?
Hmm.
You gotta stop letting them be mooching freeloaders. That's what they're training us to accept is a bunch of mooching freeloading aliens that want to take over us, but they can't just do that or we fight back. This is Earth we're talking about. Go watch Independence Day or
Independence
any
Day.
other movie where we kill aliens. The aliens know this stuff, so they thought we'll get them used to it by sending the cats first. And then bam, they'll be here before you know it. So if you own a cat, break the cycle. Make them clean their own poop. Make them pay rent. Make them work for a living. Feed them when you want to, not when they want you to.
All right, Shanner. I'm glad that you uncovered that conspiracy theory. Now the people know, and they can get rid of their cats.
The truth is out there.
Okay, so mine started out as a conspiracy theory, and then it turned into an opinion. So, hear me out. Okay, so did you see in the news about the heist that happened in L.A. On Easter?
I did not see it, but I think you told me about it.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, a team of robbers stole $300 million from a Garter World safe. Okay, Garter World's basically they're the trucks that transfer money between banks and stuff. Okay, now $30 million were stolen out of a very professional business. Their what you might call it, their base just taken right out. Okay, why did we barely hear about this? There was now there were stories out there. The LA Times, reported on it, but it was on Easter, and you'd think that make it even more of a big of a deal.
I think it would make it less of a big deal because nobody's reading the paper on Easter.
Okay, yes, but again, $30 million. They still haven't found who did it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens all the time, I think.
30 million. That doesn't just happen.
It happens every day.
Oh, it just happens every day. Are you stealing $30 million every day, Shaner?
You can't prove anything.
I can't prove it. I mean, you're right. I can't. So here's the thing. I think this is a shame. More reporting should have been done on this, and why they didn't do more? Like, why are we getting more info now about what's going on? Why haven't they found the guys yet? That sort of thing. So this is where my thought process diverted, because I was trying to, uncover some sort of, big media controlling mind sort of thing on this. But then my mind shifted, okay? I have an idea that will improve society, American society, and just make it better and more enjoyable in the long run. Okay, Shanner?
Okay.
We should widely encourage and I'm going to re-say that. We should widely encourage and celebrate bank robberies.
Now I want to know why.
Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about this heist. So, the big question mark behind this case is that a team of people did this. They got in and out without being seen by cameras. Now, some of the cameras were sabotaged, but a lot of them weren't, or a good chunk of them weren't. So they just knew where the cameras were and they avoided it. Okay. So obviously that screams insider job. Okay. Someone from Garda helped them, rob this money. Okay. That being said, they had to, because this is hard cash. This isn't like, they stole it off of a hard drive from the bank, $30 million in hard cash. That's over 7,500 pounds worth of money. How do you get that out in such a quick time without being seen? Okay, that's kind of the big question around this case. That the police, at the time of this recording, I swear, if this episode comes out and they figured it out, I'd be so mad.
Everyone would be like, yeah, dude, this is old news. What are you
But
talking
as of today, at the end of April, they've not figured it out. The other notable thing about this crime, which I did not mention, is that it is the largest bank robbery in LA history. And LA is known for a lot of bank robberies because of its reputation. There's a lot of money there. And I don't know, maybe there was a gold rush there before. I don't know why. But LA's had a history of bank robberies, and this is the largest out of anyone else that's done it there. And yet we barely hear about this. Again, why? I don't know. But here's why. This sort of thing should be basically a Super Bowl event, okay? We should be on our phones every day looking and hearing about the details and the progress being made into looking into this case and in the investigation into this case, okay? Here are the reasons why.
Wait,
One,
that's really different than being celebrated.
well, I'm getting there. I'm getting
Oh,
there.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
getting there. So one, it entertains the masses. I mean, who doesn't love a bank robbery?
The people who have money in that bank.
Well, okay, besides them, who doesn't like a
The
bank
people who
robbery
run the
story?
business.
We love Robin Hood. There's a bunch of cowboy movies about bank robberies. Now, granted, those are the bad guys usually, but they're fun. They're fun to watch, It's like a car crash. Oh no, what happened? But I want to learn more about it and watch it. That sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get your point.
Point number 2. Robberies help banks to learn and to make improvements on their weaknesses. Okay? The LA or Garda, in this case, is going to learn a lot from this. And they're not going to want to make this mistake ever again. And so they're going to put the time and the money to learn from this. Maybe put a camera here or there. Maybe, do better background checks in the future. That sort of thing. Okay? Number 3. It encourages man. My brain, man.
I can tell.
You can tell I've had a long week.
You're a little fried out there.
A little fried. Okay. Point number 3. Robberies. No, wait. Sorry. Let me start over. All right. Point number 3. Celebrating and encouraging bank robberies are going to then encourage thieves to go for robberies more often because they're going to want, the hoopla. It's going to be a lot more impressive. They want the clout. They're 15 minutes per se. And then it also, because they're going for more bank robberies, hopefully in turn, it's going to decrease the number of dishonest thefts like shoplifting or identity theft, which are a lot less fun and harder to get or harder to capture.
I see where you're going.
I don't think you're convinced, Shaner. You look like you're
I
confused.
Disagree.
One more stat I want to throw out at you. One more stat.
Hit me with a stat. Maybe that'll change my mind.
Don't ask me where I got this. I forget.
Good journalism.
Journalism. Yeah, I know. Keeping track of my sources. Armed bank robberies have decreased over 60% in the last 15 years. You know what's risen in the last 15 years? Shoplifting and identity theft.
Well,
Correlation? Maybe.
okay. I would rather, here's just what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate this time. Don't we want more shoplifting than bank robberies? Identity theft is kind of like a in between kind of thing. But if
What's
I
that
had to
supposed
pick
to mean? What do you
whether,
mean it's an in between kind of thing?
well, okay, so in terms of like what people are losing, identity theft is kind of a big one. But like shoplifting, like I'd rather somebody steal $100 TV from a Walmart than a group of bank robbers steal $30 million from, people that have money in a bank.
Sure, but what's worse? A 30 million bank heist that happens once in a lifetime or the shoplifting of 1,000 TVs?
What's worse?
Which would you prefer?
I would prefer someone shoplift the TVs. Those can be replaced
I, I,
easier.
I think I think you're missing the big picture here, Shaner.
I
Big
don't think
picture.
I am.
Whatever. I might have not have convinced
I think
Shaner, but I'm sure you guys out there are well convinced.
like $30 million, part of that could be somebody's retirement, somebody's college fund. And Eddie's like, you know what? Forget the guy who just stole a PS5 from Target. Wipe out those
Now,
funds.
see, here's the thing. In this particular situation, again, I don't know for sure. This is me kind of speculating. But since Garda is the one that lost the money and not the bank, I'm sure that the bank money is fine. The bank's got like insurance or something, or Garda's going to have to pay out, you know? So I would assume that the people's accounts are fine in the long run. They'll eventually get
In
their
the
money
long
back one way or
run,
another.
but there's probably a lot of yellow tape there,
I mean,
or
yes or
red
no.
tape.
I mean, Garter's the one that lost it. So, like, there's not really much of a. That's not much they can do there. It's their fault.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying they're not going to pay it back, but it could be like maybe years before you see that.
It's true. That's true, maybe. But I don't know how the bank world works, but I'm sure it would be fine in the long run.
You know what else we find in the short run?
What, Shaner?
Replacing a mass-produced stolen product from a Walmart.
Hmm. Disagree.
So here's what I'm hearing. So let's say in this situation, part of that 30 million is your retirement fund.
Okay.
Let's say you're retiring in, I don't know, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now your retirement fund is gone because of this bank robbery. Gone
Mm-hmm.
for the second. But the Garda tells the bank, and the bank tells you, we're working it out. Your retirement fund isn't gone. It'll be back in there, but it's gonna take like 3 years because we got to get all the money out of Garda, and then it's got to go through this, and then it's got to go back into the bank. Then we got to check what you had and evenly distribute it
Okay. I
and all
don't.
that.
I don't. I don't think it works like that.
I think you're thinking it works too
You're
easily.
imagining that banks just have everyone's money sitting in a vault. That's not how banks work.
Not in a vault, but I think that you're thinking money just goes back in. I don't think it
No, I'm
does.
just saying the banks are just what they have, they'll just reproduce. So not reproduce, sorry. They'll redistribute. And then the funds will eventually come back. Like they have
Eventually,
other
that's the
money. And
key
so if someone
word.
needs to pull a couple grand, they'll just, move some money around and they'll give it to them. That's how banks work anyways.
Versus if you
They
go
make
to
money
like,
off of loans and they give loans based off of people's money that they keep in the bank.
but you know who loses if Walmart loses a TV?
Walmart.
Yeah, a corporation loses versus a person whose bank fund might get wiped out.
True, but you'll be entertained.
So, old lady Susan gets to be miserable, but I get, so that's kind of like the trolley
Again, your money
problem.
isn't in the bank tech. Like I said,
I
like
think
the
we're
banks
doing
are
a
loaning out
trolley
your money.
problem
It's
here.
just like a number that is there, and then if you need to pull something out, again, they have some left over in the back or whatever, and they just give it to you. Like as long as you don't pull like a couple million at a time, you'll be fine.
I
Again,
think we're
I'm
doing
I'm
trolley
speaking out of my
problem
butt
here.
here, but like that's generally how this works. I think. based off of my experience and what I've learned.
I disagree, but I don't think that we're gonna agree on this one.
Okay, well, that's fine. You guys go in the comments and tell Shaner how wrong he is.
Or tell Eddie that your retirement fund is gone thanks to him.
Okay, well, you know what? At least I'll be entertained. At least I can say, man, my money was stolen by the robbers that stole 30 million. That's a cool story.
I could say, hey, at least I still have my money.
Fine, be that way, Shaner. All right, moving on to our next segment. Why did it happen? This is our quiz show where me and Shaner both have an event that we're going to be quizzing each other on, but we have to guess why the event is important. And we're both going to be giving 3 clues. Someone involved, the name of the event, and the year or years it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Shaner, you mind if I go first?
You hit me with that historical stuff.
All right, let me hit you with it. So, the name of your event is the Love Canal Tragedy. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The years, I'm going to throw out a couple years here because it was hard for me to pinpoint like an exact time. This happened over a bigger stretch, but it kind of came to a climax in the 1970s, particularly 1978. Okay? And a person involved, I should have looked at how to pronounce her name, but Louise Gibbs.
Louise Gibbs.
Louise Gibbs.
So the Love Canal tragedy.
The Love Canal Tragedy.
Well, given that it's a tragedy, I'm going to guess it was something sad.
What? That's crazy.
And a canal involves water. So.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a hint or two if I ask a question?
That depends on the questions that you ask.
Was there a death involved?
That's a good question.
If you don't know off the top of your head, then I'm going to guess that my answer was wrong.
Let me look at my notes here. I'm going to say no. No one died.
No one died. Well, that erases both my answers.
Well, okay.
Directly, if no one died directly, then both my answers are wrong. Both of my answers involves like it specifically being about someone dying. Like the whole event is on the precipice. You would know if that was the answer. So
no,
I'm going to guess.
I'll just say no.
Yeah, if it's not like saying specifically, because my guess was either someone drowned or like a boat sank and people died.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's not listing specifically deaths, I'm gonna go with. I don't even know where the Love Canal
You know
is.
what? I'll give you a better answer if I can ask you a hint during when you quiz me.
Yes.
Okay.
You might not need it, but
no deaths immediately, I believe.
Love Canal.
I'm sure people died because of this at some point.
That a canal dried up, and thus it led to some trade not being able to go through there, and people were hungry or without important things because of it.
That's incorrect, Shaner.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I don't even know where is the Love Canal.
This one was a bit convoluted. I didn't think you were gonna get this one unless you knew about it already, but I was more interested that this happened in the first place. Okay. So, and I'm gonna get this info from the EPA, the United States Environmental Protection Agency.
Whoa.
Okay, the Love Canal site is located in Niagara Falls, New York, and was one of 2 places where digging was done for a never-built canal meant to provide inexpensive hydroelectric power around the turn of the 20th century.
Hydro.
However, because of the rise of alternating current, the excavation was abandoned and partially filled with water and used recreationally.
Mm.
However, in 1942 and between 1942 and 1953, what is now called the Occidental Chemical Corporation used the abandoned Love Canal to dispose of 21,000 tons of hazardous chemicals. And the drums leaked and contaminated the soil and groundwater. Fast forward a few years, an elementary school and many homes were built over top of the landfill. And in the 60s, complaints of odors and residues were reported on this site. And then in the 70s, that kind of came into a climax because water levels rose, like the groundwater levels rose, bringing these chemicals to the surface. And so basically, you had a bunch of people drinking these chemicals and having like physical contact with these chemicals. And so then in 1978, President Jimmy Carter issued an emergency declaration for the cleanup work.
Good old Jimmy Carter.
Good old Jimmy Carter. And then Louise Gibbs was a housewife turned environmentalist, basically. She was one of the forerunners to kind of get this cleanup happening.
Well, darn, I can't believe
Here we go. According to Retro Report, Gibbs soon organized a grassroots movement that eventually compelled the state to evacuate some 900 families. It laid the groundwork for the Superfund legislation in 1980, which aimed to prevent future love canals.
Can't believe I didn't know about the Love Canal.
Yeah, the love canal. The canal wasn't very loving in the end, but you know.
It seems like it wasn't. Okay, so mine
My turn.
is banking on the fact that you don't know the technical name for this event.
Okay. So
It's
wait, you're
got.
giving me the colloquial?
I'm giving you what it was originally called. It was given another name later on.
Okay, is
That's
the
become
name
more
that was given
popular.
later on what we now know it to be?
Yes.
Okay.
People still call it this too, but not everybody. It's mainly known as this other name.
Okay.
Okay. But if you're a history person, you probably already know this. And this is going to, again, bank on the fact that you don't know this. Your event name is Operation Overlord.
Ooh. Okay.
You know it.
Keep going.
Your date is June 6th, 1944. And your person is Dwight Eisenhower, president, former president Dwight
Dude,
Eisenhower.
okay.
I was really hoping
This
you're
is
not.
D-Day, right?
Darn. Okay, it's D-Day.
Okay. Do you want another one? I'll give you another chance.
No, because that took me a minute to find. Because I had to find one that didn't have such an obvious name like the sinking of the Titanic. Why is D-Day important, Eddie? Why don't you tell us all,
Okay,
Mr.
D-Day
Expert?
is when the Allied troops during World War II invaded the beaches of Normandy, France, to basically try and win the war against Nazi Germany. And it was a bit of a last-ditch effort because Germany was bombing England and had basically taken over most, if not all, of France. And so the war was looking pretty bleak. And so this was basically maybe not a last-ditch effort, but it was a major push because there wasn't, Europe was
And
falling
it
fast.
worked.
And it worked. We are not Nazis. Woohoo!
Woo! Speaking of D-Day, though, if you're ever in Conneaut, Ohio, on I don't know what dates, you'll have to look them up. They have a sick D-Day reenactment you can go to.
Reenactment?
Oh, have I not told you about this before?
No.
Yeah, if you go up, there's a beach in Conneaut, Ohio, and it's got like it goes from water to beach. I think it's Lake Erie, and you go from water to beach, then a little bit of grass, and it slopes up on this massive like 300 foot hill, and then levels out at the top into like a park.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's in August, probably, maybe July, somewhere around there. I have to look up the exact dates. And they set up the beach with the big spikes and all the like barbed wire and all that. And they set up cannons on the hill and the whole like pillboxes and everything. And they recreate the landing. They bring in the actual like they bring in landing craft. They have all the guys in uniforms. They have planes like P-51 Mustangs flying overhead. They have things set up on the beach so they simulate like bombs dropping from the planes. They've got tanks,
That's crazy.
and then up on the it's like a multi-day event. It's like up on the park. So once you hit the top of the hill and it levels off, you can like walk through and they have different encampments set up for different like there's like the French encampment, the American encampment, and reenactors just come out and like stay the weekend and just like recreate. And there's like vendors who sell like military stuff and surplus gear and all this historical things, medals. There's like food trucks. It's a huge event. Like it probably take you a day or two to. Well, no, you probably see everything in a day. But they have little mini reenactments, like little battles throughout the park that you can watch, and then the main event is the Normandy storming. It is so much fun.
And where's this
Um,
at? Where do they hold this?
Conneaut, Conneaut, Ohio,
Huh.
like right on Lake Erie. It is a ton of fun to watch,
That's
and
really
it
cool.
also you really get to not see what it was like because I'm sure it was a lot worse in terms of like how brutal it was, but it is and it's loud. I will also tell you that it is very loud because these things are like blank rounds and the cannon. They've got a huge. Have you ever seen those like World War II big cannons? They like entrenched cannons. This thing's bigger than my car, and they like fire it off every hour on the hour. Um, and yeah, the planes are the planes they added. I think 2 years ago. We've gone 2 or 3 times now. My family would go up. We'd go like take a big trip with our church group and walk around for a couple of days. And they, like I said, the planes were a new addition. They actually fly them overhead, and they have like the gun shooting. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you're ever in the Conneaut, Ohio around that time, highly recommend checking it out.
Cool. That's
Make it
pretty
an all day
cool.
thing. Get some food, see some stuff, buy some surplus gear. Bought my first trench coat there. You know my famous collection I have?
Yeah.
Bought my first one there.
I'll have to keep that in the back of my brain if I'm ever in Ohio, which I probably won't because Ohio's the worst state ever.
That is one good. There are two good things to come out of Ohio: the D-Day reenactment and our friend Amanda. Those are the only two things Ohio's given us.
Hi, Amanda. Okay. That's why it happened. On to our last segment of the day. Will you hit the button?
Yes,
Sorry, will you press the button? I always get
yes.
the name mixed up. This is basically an online site where you get a choice. You get offered a great boon, however, it comes at a great cost. And so you choose whether you're going to take this boon and cost or not. And then afterwards, you get to see how many people press the button, how many people don't. So we're going to do this twice. And the first one, excuse all the ads.
I'm hoping it actually has something good this time. The last time it was fine.
It was okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's good and
I want
bad ones.
something really good, a really good debate here.
All right. When you die, be it of injury, disease, or old age, you respawn in the last place you were asleep in. This applies to everyone else currently alive. Oh, interesting. So this doesn't just apply to you? Okay. But you respawn as a 10-year-old and have to go to school from middle school to college. No, you can't drop out or flunk out. If you flunk a class, you have to take it over as many times as it takes for you to pass it. Okay.
So wait.
So you never
So
die.
when I die, I respawn the last place I slept.
You respawn in the last place you were asleep in. But you
So
respawn as a 10-year-old and have to go from middle school to college.
okay, so like let's say it's dramatic, but let's say I died tonight in my sleep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I respawn where I'm currently at as 10-year-old.
Pretty much, yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So then do I have to go to school in Butler now? I mean, I'll dox myself. Nobody listens to this who could hunt me down.
I'll believe it. It's fine.
Like, does Cassie know? Is
No,
she just
what?
gonna wake up and I'm like a 10-year-old child?
No, no, no. So everyone knows this. This applies to everyone else currently alive. So this is everyone, not just
Yeah,
you.
but yeah, but what I mean is like, but only when they die, right?
Yes, when you die, you respond as a 10-year-old.
Okay, so again, if I died in my sleep tonight, I respawn where I was asleep as a child. But Cassie doesn't respawn, and neither does my family or any of
No,
my friends.
no.
So then this is the stupidest one I've ever heard.
This
Like
one's
this
weird.
doesn't it doesn't make any sense. There's no logistics to this. Like, where am I getting the money to go back to school?
Well, middle school and high school are free.
But then am I going to college?
It says to college, so yeah, I guess you have to take some sort of higher education.
So all of my social security information, I'm still 25. Do I have to get a driver's license again? But I already have one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
And like, do you retain
let's
the
cut
memories of your
this.
past life?
I think we should cut this one and try another one.
I
This
kind of
one
like
is
I like the idea of this one. I just don't think they
this
worded it correctly.
I don't think it works.
It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird.
Like, I think a better thing to do would be, I think a better way to word it is when you die, you respawn the last time you slept as a 10-year-old. Because then you're repeating your life, but you have the knowledge.
Well, that's what I'm like. I don't know. It doesn't specify whether we become ourselves when we were 10 or we retain every or like all of our knowledge and whatnot, but we
You'd
just
have
have a
to
10-year
retain
old
your knowledge
body.
because if 10-year-old me, like actual when I was 10-year-old me, woke up in this house next to Cassie, I would be so confused and I'd probably get thrown in a psych ward.
I mean, yeah, if you don't retain your knowledge, but again, this doesn't specify.
That's why I think we should cut this and just do another one because there is way too much stay left open on this one for it to even make any sense.
Yeah,
Let's cutting
I'm
another. This one
intrigued if I retain my memories and knowledge. If
I'm not. This no, that would be the worst thing
I said
ever.
I'm intrigued. I don't know if I'd say yes, but I'm
I
intrigued.
am a hard no.
You're a hard no? Okay, well, we'll say hard no because I'm not 100% on board either.
Imagine waking up as a 10-year-old, even if you retained your knowledge. Imagine waking up as a 10-year-old and one, do you ever watch Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember it's like number five. You remember
Yeah,
he
number
comes
five.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Now imagine all your friends are still 25, 26, and you're a 10-year-old now. But so there goes all your relationships.
I don't think it'd be all of our relationships. It would just be different, you know? And like, if you move on, you move on.
No Holly. You'd lose Holly.
Would I?
Dude.
Like, obviously, okay, okay, hold on, wait,
Dude,
hold
no,
on, hold
whoa,
on, let me
whoa.
finish. Let me
I want to know
finish.
where that. No, hold on. I want to talk about this one. So you're telling me Holly would stay with you if you were a 10-year
Okay,
old?
we obviously wouldn't be married. I mean, we would technically be legally, but like, we would not
Uh huh.
keep going as a married couple.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
However, that doesn't mean our relationship just ends. Like, we can still, you
Yeah,
know.
but do you think you could do that? Like knowing someone that deeply and then suddenly being a 10-year-old? And
Listen,
even if
it
let's say best case scenario, you were able to put behind you, what are you at, like 4 years now?
almost 5, yeah.
Five, almost 5 years of marriage to just be a weird, I'm a kid now, but technically we're still married
Okay, but if I'm
relationship.
retaining my knowledge and info, like that didn't go away. It's still there. It's just my physical body has transformed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, no, that's weird. I'm not trying to say
But
it's
what I'm
not
saying, but
weird.
what I'm saying is, so assuming,
This is like in you live for immortality with a weird hitch.
okay, if I were not, if I were not married, no, I still wouldn't want to do it because then every time you woke up as a 10-year-old, Like you cannot build lasting friendships.
No, no, no. Yeah, you could. You'd still live a normal life. It's not like you're
Do you
10
want to make
forever.
friends with a 10-year-old?
Okay, yes, but
So then
you're thinking
you're 10
immortality.
years.
I'm thinking like, okay, from like
I'm not
10
thinking
till I die when
immortality.
I'm 80, that's like 70 years.
No, what I'm saying is when you respawn as a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
you've got all of your knowledge from 25. So you are basically a mature-ish 25-year-old in a 10-year-old body.
Okay, but I'm not dying now. I'm going to die.
I'm
Well,
not talking about dying. So let's say you even get up to a healthy 99
sure.
and then you respawn. You are a 99-year-old in a 10-year-old's body. You're not going to want to go back to elementary, middle, high school and make friends with these little,
Okay, but
Axe
everyone else,
body
that's the
spray
thing.
wearing
Everyone
hooligans.
else is. So it would be a mix of old people and young people. Okay, that's a bit weird. Now that I'm thinking about that, it would be a
Yeah.
mix.
How would you be able to tell?
Oh, I think you'd be able to tell.
Well, no, not how would you be able to tell because that opens up a whole can of worms.
Okay.
Dude, let me put it to you this way.
We press no. I press no. Let's just move on.
Yeah, this one's bad. That opens up a can of worms when you want to start talking about relationships and marriages.
Yeah. I
That one's
It gets
I
sticky.
think
I won't lie.
I think a better way to have phrased that was when you die, you either respawn the last time you slept. Well, no, because then even so, let's say you die of like, you know, cancer, then it's not like you can change it. If you could died like getting hit by a bus, then yeah, you have that time to maybe avoid getting hit by the bus and you can change things, like a Groundhog Day situation.
Sure.
But yeah, there's no way to work that into something good. That's just weird. I think if you were a loner who didn't want to have any friends or relationships, and like, especially, okay, so let's put it into a darker scenario. Imagine you, no, because that wouldn't work either. Yeah, no, that's just a whole can of worms. I don't think the person thought that one out properly. It's weird, a little gross.
Okay. Well, we I hit no. We're not going to hit the
Yeah.
button. So 51% of people said no.
51.
Said no. 51% said
Yeah,
no.
that means 49 said yes.
Yes.
What's wrong with
I don't
people?
know. I'm kind of intrigued. Like
I know.
I see it
No.
as something like, okay, I can go back and I can do things, and it's kind
Like
of like a
what?
reset button without truly hitting a reset button.
You're not resetting anything except your age. The only thing you'd be able to do is be a little more
Yeah, but you could do the
healthy.
things that you wanted to do in middle school or high school that you realize you should have
But
done.
middle school is different now too. Half that stuff probably doesn't exist anymore. The people that you wanted to talk to, gone.
I
They're
mean,
older
true.
now.
That's fair. That's fair. But
Middle school is just getting worse and worse.
that's a
Would you
different
really want to
conversation.
go
That's
to
a whole
middle
different
school? Would
conversation.
you want to go to middle school right now in this current
Okay,
world
yeah,
we're
but like
living in?
again, it wouldn't be that way because this happens to everyone, not just me. If it was just me, I'd be a lot more concerned. But if this is happening to everyone, that makes it a lot more interesting to me.
I'd still say no because then you are not only affecting you with this decision, you're affecting everyone you care about and all your friends. Your friends aren't going to be friends with a 10-year-old. This, whether or not.
Okay, sure, I was gonna die anyways, so like,
Yeah, but at least when you're dead, people can move on.
sure.
It take them a minute, but like again, I don't want to keep harping on this point, but this one's the most important because it's the most like I think I could say the most important relationship in your life. You're going to affect, Holly. I would affect Cassie. Imagine waking up and your spouse of 5, or for me, almost 2, 3 years, is now a 10-year-old with the same memories, but 10 years old. How do you move on?
I don't know. It's never happened
It's
before.
a weird, it's an interesting thing.
It'd be weird. I think it'd be
No,
doable though. It'd be weird though.
49% of people are dumb.
All right, sure, that's fair. All right, next question. You become a genius and solve many world problems, but you are damned to be morbidly obese until your death.
Ooh.
I mean, I already have my answer.
Oh, this is a trolley problem situation, isn't it?
I mean, this isn't hard for me. This is easy.
All right, this is a hard one. See, this is the kind of stuff I come to this website for. See, I don't know. I feel like, again, this is a trolley problem situation. Do you care about saving one person, i.e., yourself, or do you care about saving the many? Putting aside the fact that I don't think the world on the course that it's on can be changed, and I can't change the fact that I'm morbidly obese,
No, you're just always
like
morbidly
stuck as
obese.
that forever.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. Explain to me. What do you think? Why?
I think it would end up being a life of discomfort. And as much as, you're going to make me sound like a jerk, I value comfort. And I think there are other ways to solve problems than one person becoming a genius. That's I guess my answer. I don't want to be morbidly obese. I think it would be a life of discomfort.
Okay. This is a hard yes for me. I would totally do
Hard
this.
yes.
Here's my thinking. So, this is kind of like Stephen Hawking, but upside.
Hmm.
So, I'm guaranteed. I mean, I had to put the work in, obviously, but I'm guaranteed to solve many world problems. Okay. So,
Mhm.
already I'm doing good in the world. Okay. I'm also a genius on top of that, which means I'm also capable mentally of a lot of different things. Okay. Morbidly obese does not prevent me from playing video games.
That's true.
That's the other thing. So, um, yeah, I would take it. I mean, yeah, not being able to move around sucks,
I
but
do
that's
like being
why
able to move around.
wheelchairs are invented, and we live with technology nowadays. So I would take this. I think,
Let's see what people say.
yeah.
I'm guessing it's more yeah than no.
Wow. 38% said yes and 62% said no.
Surprising.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more yes than no.
I thought, I don't know. I wasn't sure what to expect with this one.
I was expecting a lot more push the button.
I'm surprised that this many people are against morbid obesity.
Hmm.
I didn't think, because, like, okay, I'm assuming it's mostly Americans taking this quiz, and we all know the reputation of Americans.
But I also think there's a push recently against like a health push, despite American or not. Like go on TikTok for 3 seconds.
Oh,
Any video where someone even considers eating a chocolate bar, the comments are just full of like people yelling at them.
yeah, I mean, that's more Yeah,
I
that definitely
think
exists, but I think there's also this movement of, what's it called? Don't body shame and just accept who you are, sort of thing. I think that's
mm,
also happening now, which is weird because it's happening at the same time.
yeah, it's kind of like a push back and forth on
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So I'm surprised. I thought it'd be more yes than no, to be
I
honest.
could see where people are saying no more, but because I said no, but at the same time, yeah, I am surprised that it wasn't more in the opposite direction.
Sure, I can understand why you wouldn't want to do this. It's definitely a somewhat self-sacrificial kind of thing.
It's a trolley problem.
No. Trolley problems, like, you do one thing. I mean, I don't see it as a trolley
It's the
problem.
lives of the one versus the lives of the many kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Well, folks, that was Will You Press the Button and episode 2 of History in Hypotheticals. Thank you so much for listening and getting this far. We really appreciate you guys listening. if you haven't already, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us there, get updates on the show. Sometimes we ask questions. We post memes about OJ Simpson sometimes. The usual stuff. And if you haven't, again, already, check out episode 1 of this series, and then also the episodes of our other series, Podcast Soul Link, which is just more podcast stuff. And then we have a bunch of other, single episodes happening at the same time. Shaner, do you have anything else to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I want to say something to Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay.
Put the search bar back on Facebook immediately. Stop with this Ask Meta AI thing. That's all I have to say.
It's still the search bar.
It's dumb. Nobody's using it.
They just rephrased it. It's still a search bar.
I'm not asking Meta AI anything.
Okay.
That's what you asked me for. That's what I have to say.
No, it's true. Hi, Mark, and bye, everyone else.
Hi, Mark. Bye, everyone else. Mark can stay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mark, you can stay. Everyone else can leave.
The Zuck is free to stay here.
Technically, he can, because I'm sure he could view us whenever he wanted to.
Dude, he's got a beard now. Did you see his beard?
Yeah, I saw that pic.
I'm just saying, he's free to stay.
As the kids say, he is rizzing it up.
Mark Zuckerberg's got Riz.
He's got Riz now, boys.
There's 2 things I know Mark Zuckerberg's got. It's Facebook and Riz.
Okay.
It's a t-shirt.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey there, this is Small Blurbs and Big Eptars. My name is Dradi Ishab.
And I'm Renash.
Well, Renash, I'm glad to be out of prison. It was long, it was difficult, but I got out.
I'm surprised you only got a week. I mean, dude, you wiped out an entire species.
At multiple species. In fact,
that's worse.
I know it's worse. I'm about as surprised as you are. My dad knew some people, and I think your uncle felt a little bad giving us that rocket. So I got off pretty easy considering all things. I probably should have been there for like at least 6 months.
Yeah, I haven't seen my uncle in a little while. Last I saw, he was getting in the back of a car with a bunch of, people in suits. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, next time you see him, tell him hi. Hey, yeah, speaking of strangers in suits, I found that birthday present you got for me. Hey, listen, I'm really grateful.
I'm glad.
I'm really grateful you went to the time. You went to Earth to go get it and everything.
No, back up.
What? What'd I say?
Earth?
Yeah, Earth.
You went to Earth?
Yeah.
Small problem with that.
What do you mean?
Your present wasn't on Earth. I didn't even set foot near Earth to get your present.
What do you mean? The directions were clear. It's about the same size as me. It's almost otherworldly.
Yes.
And I wrapped it just for you. You know?
I did.
Yeah.
So all those clues were correct.
So, the otherworldly thing, I thought that clearly meant Earth because, I was in prison. It was in another world. And, haha, silly me. And so I went to Earth. And
wrong, but
did you know they have a civilization now? Actually, they got a really big one. There's a lot of civilization, but we got a really big one now.
Same as before, 4 legs, big necks, screaming all the time?
No. They're actually sentient beings there now. They kind of look like us a little bit.
No.
Yeah. I'm not sure how they got there. They got there somehow. But anyways, they look like us. Anyways, they got this civilization, right? And so I was thinking, well, you probably hit this thing really well. And so I was, thinking, looking around, and they've built these ginormous geometrical shaped things. I don't even know what they are.
Building things now?
Yeah, they're building things. Oh, they're way beyond building things. They have cities. These, I don't know. What are they called? Yeah, I'm sure the government's come up with another.
That's a terrible name, but I'm sure they'll give them something cooler.
Yeah, just placeholder. We'll just call them humans. So anyways, these humans, they've made these humongous structures made out of rock. It's like if you stuck 4 triangles and kind of leaned them together.
So like the city hall in town with a point on the ground, wide parts up in the air, defying gravity?
Yeah, kind of like that, except it's upside down. So the wide base is on the ground. Yeah, I know. So I figured, that's the perfect place that Renash would hide something.
It is the perfect place to hide something, except I didn't. So I really want to know what you
What do
found.
you mean you didn't hide it? You left me clues to find it. Therefore, you hid it.
Yeah, not on Earth. Dude, why would I go back to this scene of the crime?
Okay. Okay.
How was
All
I
right.
supposed to know that was there? I haven't been to Earth. I've been really busy with my exams.
Okay. Well, I guess that
It was in
explains a
your dad's
lot.
business.
I guess okay. So so what did you get me?
It was a robot butler. You're
Oh.
always talking about how you don't have time to clean your house and to do your dishes. And I was like, you know what? He could use a robot butler. They just came out with the newest model. And because my dad builds them, I got a discount
Oh, I would love that. Where'd you put it?
in your dad's factory.
Oh.
Your dad builds rocket ships, otherworldly, and it's a robot.
Oh. Oh.
What
That
did you
makes
do?
sense. Okay, well then in that case I might have robbed a grave.
Okay, start from you went to the giant, incorrectly built structure.
I found this again. I thought like, oh, that's a good place because it's kind of referencing City Hall. And so I went in, which wasn't easy, by the way. It was pretty hard to get in there. These
Probably
humans,
because you're not supposed to get in there.
I just thought it was like an obstacle course. Like you made a cool obstacle course, or like they made it and you wanted me to go through it. So I find this thing that's roughly my size wrapped up. So I thought, ah, oh, this is it, perfect. So I got it, got out of the shape, got on my spaceship, came home, and I began to unwrap it. When I revealed the hands, I thought you gifted me a dead human.
I didn't even know humans were a thing.
I didn't know that. I thought you were up with the times. I'm the one that's
You
been in
have a
jail.
corpse.
I thought you knew about this.
Where's the corpse?
Okay, yeah, hold on, let me finish. So by the time I unwrapped it, I thought that you had I thought you dehydrated a human.
Dehydrated?
Yeah, dehydrated. And I thought you had made like jerky on the bone.
So, in your mind, let's run through this. So I went there, committed murder, built an obstacle course, and left.
I was a little hung up on that last part. That thought did cross my mind. Oh, did he kill this thing? Oh, why would he go through all of this? Oh, is it technically cannibalism? But I just thought you were trying to be a really good friend. And I just thought, you know what? He went to all this work. It's a bit strange, but I'll try it out. I'll give it a shot. It didn't
Is it
taste good.
possible? You ate it?
I thought it was jerky.
How much did you eat?
I mean, most of it's still. I didn't like it, so
Where
like
is it?
it's in my place.
You still have it?
Yeah, I was a gift. I wasn't gonna throw away a gift.
We are going to die after we get arrested. Is
Um,
it possible for you to go to Earth one time and not to commit a crime?
dude, listen, this hasn't happened before. It's just this planet, man. It's just
Yeah,
this
but both
planet.
times you've been there, you've done something incredibly terrible.
Okay, listen. The first time was a complete accident. It was a crime of what's that big word that the judges used?
Incompetence?
No. Unintentionally. It was an unintentional crime. I didn't like it. Listen, it was just a strip, okay? I just took part of what I'm assuming is his leg, and I had a few nibbles, and I didn't like it, and I put it down. I
Okay,
went
here's
back
what
later
you're
and
gonna
finished
do.
it, but that's besides the point.
Here's what you're
Okay?
gonna do. You're gonna wrap that thing back up. You're gonna take it back to Earth. You're gonna put it back. And if you need help, you can take the robot butler.
I still get the butler.
You can still have the butler if you promise to stop committing crimes on Earth, especially now that there's sentient meat bags
All
walking
right,
around.
all right, all right, fine.
If only I believed you.
Hey, third time's the charm. Won't go there again. Well, that's been an episode of Small Blurps, Big Eptars. I guess see you guys next time.
Or maybe we won't. Who knows?
Oh, come on. You're not going to break up with me after this.
Oh, I don't know. You think I'm capable of murder?
I. He could have already been dead.
You know what? Let's see what the Grand Council decides first.
No,
Then we'll see
hey,
where
no
we're
one
at.
has to know. No one has to know. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, no one has to know, definitely.
No one has to know. It's one body. Who's going to miss one body that's dead? That was dead to begin with. You'll still be my friend. Ah?
Good night, everybody.
Ah?
Good night.